Morning folks, it's 5 AM, pitch black, it's raining and I'm out for a run. I must be mad, but this is how today begins. "6 AM, back at home, still pitch black, still raining. 6:30, still raining, no longer dark, but I'm just about to head to the airport. Right, it is almost 7:30 and I'm now at Heathrow, about to go and get on a flight to Sweden. "8:30 now, breakfast done, coffee done most importantly, and we're on the plane. It's about 12:30, I think, 12:30ish local time now. I'm in Stockholm and I'm here to go to a big IT conference not far from the airport and to go and talk to a group of IT companies about how Formula One uses data to become successful. So I'm in a taxi on the way to the event. Being Stockholm, it's obviously a Tesla, isn't it? And I love that. I love the fact that you can just, the queue of taxis is mostly Teslas, and that's a sign of a city that is forward thinking, that is embracing this kind of technology. This area, you know, the Scandinavian part of the world is one of the leading areas when it comes to electric cars and the take-up of electric cars, and a big part of that comes from the push from their government. You know, my man here was just telling me that they have huge tax breaks for running this electric car as a taxi in this city, so you can see why people do it. And it's a cool car. So I've arrived at the venue. In there is where I'm going to be speaking very shortly. Before that though, I've got another business meeting completely separate to this event in the hotel next door. So I'm going to go and check into the speaker area, make sure they've got all my presentation ready, and then I'm going to go next door for this meeting before I then actually come back to speak in, I think, about an hour or so. So it's currently 1:30. Hello.
Hi. Hello. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what we are doing in Norway.
So that is where I'll be speaking in a little while, but first I think there's a little interview to do with these guys here. We're just having a camera off because everyone's got fancy gizmos. Yeah, you win. So that all went very well. Quick little interview, which is for just internal purposes, I think, for their own website. I've now got this other meeting, so I've got to pop back out of here and go to the hotel next door to go and meet a chap who, well, actually, he's a fellow shareholder in a business that I'm involved with, and he's based here in Stockholm. So it's just an opportunity to go and catch up with him. So I'm going to go and do that before coming back and heading into that theatre. Right, so that's it, all done. The session went really well. It was really interesting actually, and it's quite daunting, I have to say, facing a huge crowd of IT professionals who actually know far more about this subject than I do, and yet then having to kind of try and win them over and try and entertain them and to even educate them just through the ways that our industry, Formula One, uses that IT and uses that data in different ways to help win races, transform pit stops, transform Formula One teams, and I guess even now transforming the whole of Formula One. If you think about how Liberty have come in and taken over this sport, Bernie Ecclestone used to run a very analogue version of Formula One, didn't he? And Liberty, a global and certainly American-based media company, have got completely other ideas about how the digital transformation of Formula One is going to revolutionise the sport and grow it and exploit opportunities, which it clearly is. So it's quite interesting, and actually, you know, it went very well, because when you start talking about pit stops and you start talking about, and I've got a couple of videos that I show, and people can't help but be wowed by a Formula One pit stop, the modern versions of a Formula One pit stop, and that's always my winning trump card. When I pull that out, the kind of room goes quiet, the jaws drop, because to see a pit stop happening, particularly when you slow it down, a 2-second pit stop with everything that's going on, with all the people involved, all the equipment, the processes, the procedures, the training and preparation, everything that goes in to that 2-second event is quite staggering when you sort of really break it down into detail. So that's what I did. It went very well, as I say, and I'm really pleased. Had a really interesting meeting beforehand. I wish I could tell you what these meetings that I keep having are about, and I will do very soon, because it's something that's really interesting. I find it really interesting. I think you will too. But anyway, sorry to tease you again with that, but that will be coming soon. So it's been a good day. Been a really interesting day and a really useful day, productive day. It is now 4:30, and I am now desperately trying to get back to the airport, because I haven't got very long before the flight leaves to get back to the UK, and it's sort of rush hour. Probably not really what I wanted when we came out, but there we go. That's what happens at this time of day. I'm sure we'll get there, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, I've made it to the airport, but I've got about 45 minutes until my flight takes off. Wish me luck. That was a little bit more exciting than it was supposed to be, but I've made it. That was all a bit tight, but we made it. I am now back on the plane and heading home, and I can't wait. It's been a long day. Looking forward to getting back to the family. Yeah. For once, that McLaren sign's not for me anymore. However, I can't find the one that is for me, which is a bit worrying. There he is. There he is. Found him. 9:30, and I've just got home, but hopefully it's going to be a good welcome. Here they come. Hello. Hello.